Hey Gemini, welcome to your Aquarius season reading, where we'll take a peek at how you can best embrace your individuality over the next few weeks. So starting with the energy that's surrounding you, for this reading, we have building blocks. Let's pull another oracle card and see what other energies are surrounding my Gemini collective for their Aquarius season reading. And we have two that came out. We have action and we also have door to romance. Okay, Gemini. So, a couple of things that we have here. This is going to be the season of you creating a foundation. But I do think that that creation is going to be fully dependent on whether or not you actually take the steps forward to do it. So this is not a situation where things sort of fall into your lap and just sort of appear out of the ether. It's going to require some level of action on your part. And with the door to romance, while I don't necessarily do relationship readings specifically all of the time, I do think that this has to do with some type of romantic love that you may have been thinking about. And I think that for a lot of you, that there has been this reluctance, I think, to get into a relationship or maybe deepen a relationship that you have already been in. But if that's something that you were interested in, it feels like the energy over the next few weeks within this Aquarius season is a good time to start creating the foundation to do that. So if you are a person who is, sort of single and ready and willing to mingle, you're going to have to sort of put yourself out there, whether it's going on to an online dating app or going to speed dating or just going to different events that interest you so that you're able to meet new and different people. Then that's something that you should think about. If there's, a relationship, and I use that term very loosely, that you've been involved in, that you want to see where it's going, you might have to sort of speak up. You might have to take the first step in saying, hey, what's happening here? Where are we going? What are we doing? Are you interested in me like I might be interested in you? It's going to be up to you to sort of push this forward, whichever side of the coin that you fall on. So let's get into some tarot and see if we can pull some additional messages for you guys, starting with the sort of sense of what this Aquarius season is going to be like for you all. And we're starting out with the Four of Pentacles. So this is interesting because there's a sense of holding back. So the Four of Pentacles is really holding on to something, or, just sort of keeping others from seeing what it is that you have. And let's see if we can clarify that card a little bit. And we're clarifying it with two additional cards. So we have the Ten of Swords in reverse, and we also have the Nine of Pentacles upright. And so I almost feel like there's a sense of avoidance that's happening for my Gemini collective, particularly with the Ten of Swords in reverse, because upright, there's this sense of being disappointed, being stabbed in the back, being betrayed somehow. And I do think that when it comes to relationships, that you have experienced that, and you are not particularly looking forward to experiencing that again. So I feel like your Aquarius season is almost focused on you resisting, almost like I can do bad all by myself. Like I can provide whatever it is that I need. I don't need anybody else, particularly with the Nine of Pentacles. This is about having abundance within yourself, not really looking for external things to sort of build you up or compliment you. And so I think that you've sort of tucked yourself away from other people. That being said, the sense that I get is not necessarily that that's where you want to be. I think that if you had your preference, then yeah, you would have a little boo thing, that you can do spring and summer activities with. But right now, it feels as though you're a little bit gun shy, that you are holding yourself back from investing in any one particular person. And that's okay. Like, you don't have to just jump out there and immediately find somebody and be like, yeah, we walking down the aisle next week. How's that? Like, no, you can take your time to sort of float around, see what's out there in the world. But if you don't do that, then you're not going to be able to open this here door to romance. Again, it's going to take action on your part. So what you can do to sort of explore this energy, we have judgment. So the first thing is going to require you actually making a decision that you want to put yourself out there, that you want to stop holding back so much, especially in the romance department. And I get it. There's been, I think everybody's had sort of situations where they got into something and they had high expectations, or just expectations, period. And the other person just came and kind of blew them out the water. Like, yeah, your expectations don't mean a goddamn thing to me. And you're like, what the hell? Like, I wasn't asking for that much. But and it makes you a little bit hesitant to get back out there. Nobody likes to be disappointed. But I think that also in a lot of your cases, you also don't want to necessarily be alone. But you don't want to have a partner just for the sake of saying, oh, I have a partner. Never mind the fact that that partner's not doing anything for you to benefit your life. But hey, you have one, right? I don't think that that's the position that you want to be in. So you're being very, very cautious about getting back out there. And we have judgment clarified by the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is a very observant energy. So they do not act immediately. They take time to gather information. They are carefully sort of watching things. And then based on that, they decide how to move forward. So I think that when it comes to, how you can best explore this energy that's around this reading, being able to build the foundation and taking action, if in the event romance is something that you're interested in, that the best thing that you can sort of do for yourself is to make the decision to at least try. And that's not committing you to doing anything specific. This is really about you sort of taking your time, getting out there, getting exposed to other people, getting to know them, collecting your information, and then deciding where you want to take it from there. So an expectation from other people that you may need to avoid. And so this is an interesting card that came out. We have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So the Knight of Pentacles, when it's upright, it is someone who comes in very, very slowly, very, very deliberately. They are in no kind of hurry and they are on nobody's timeline but their own. But when they do come in, it is extraordinarily stable. It's something that will be around for the long term. And so having this in reverse, it almost feels like that once you put yourself out there, there are going to be people, potential suitors, potential partners that want to rush things along. But Gemini, you do not seem like you're in that headspace to move forward very quickly, that you want to take your time. So when you do, if you do, put yourself out there, do not be quick to jump into anything. Really take your time, be considerate, be very conscientious, and build over time. If that person is not on board with that, then guess what? We have the Eight of Cups, walking away. And so I think that people will not have the expectation that you will walk away so easily from an opportunity or a person that comes your way. But I do think, again, that you've been through enough and you've experienced enough that you know when something or someone is not for you. So I think the expectation is that you will not You will not walk off if somebody comes in and shows a ton of interest. I believe the term is called love bombing, and you'll know when it comes your way. So if anybody has that expectation that you'll stick around for the wild ride, I think they're going to be super disappointed, because that just does not feel like where you are. So how you can stay true to yourself in this here energy, we have the Two of Cups in reverse, we have the Ten of Wands in reverse, and we also have the Star. And so what I'm feeling is the best way for you to honor yourself, be, sort of bask in your individuality and what it is that you're looking for, is to make sure that you keep in mind what it is that you're looking for from another person, what you're looking for from a partner. And with the Two of Cups in reverse, this is really about partnership. It's about interaction. The Ten of Wands is about burdens and the ending of something. And so I do feel like the best way for you to honor yourself, the best way for you to stay true to yourself, is to not engage in things that are not aligned with what it is that you're looking for out of another person. So, everybody has their own preferences. Everybody has their own standards. And this is a good reminder that you have those for a reason. They're what makes you happy. They're what makes you comfortable. And that should not be challenged by anybody else, because at the end of the day, this is something that you have to deal with, right? It's going to be most impactful on you. So staying true to what it is that you want, not settling for anything that you don't, taking these burdens on your back for the sake of a loving relationship is not going to be your thing. So always keep in the back of your mind what it is that you're looking for, and what it is that you're willing to compromise on, and what it is that you're not. So what your inner voice wants you to know. We have the Queen of Cups in reverse. So this, I think, is a good reminder for my Gemini collective out there that you don't have to give your love to everybody. So the Queen of Cups, if you look at traditional Rider-Waite, is the only cup that has a lid on it. None of the other cup cards have that. But the Queen of Cups is able to discern when she can take that lid off and give her cup of love to other people, and when she can put that joint right back on and be like, you get absolutely none of this. So I think that this is your inner self's way of saying that you don't have to give your love to everybody. You don't have to give your time and attention to anybody who comes rushing in. You have the ability to discern that, and everybody does not deserve it. And we have that followed up by the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is really about structure, about institution, about foundational building. And so again, I think when you look at the two of these cards together, your inner self is trying to tell you that in order to build this foundation, you can't give away everything to everybody, because everybody is not deserving and everybody is not aligned with what it is that you want. So be choosy. You can afford to do that. You know that you should do that for yourself. Let's pull another message from Spirit and see what else they have to say for you. Okay. So, address your addictions and do all things in moderation. So, when we were talking a little bit earlier, right? And we had these cards come out that, sort of showed that you've been through some rough times, and, there have been some challenges, particularly in your romantic relationships. Maybe you stayed around a little bit too long. You tried to work things out that just could not be worked out. And so maybe there's an element of codependency that you dealt with before. I think that you're coming out of that now, but it's important for you to sort of keep that at the back of your head. Make sure that you don't become too dependent on anybody else. Make sure that you don't sort of limit yourself for the sake of someone else. Any bad habits that you may have, especially in relationships, not speaking up when you know that you should, not walking away when you know that you should. Those are all things that you might need to address. And doing all things in moderation, I think, goes back to limiting the amount of time and attention and energy that you're giving to other people. Like, be easy, be that observer. Let the other person show you what they're bringing to the table before you start setting out a whole ass buffet for them. Everything in moderation. Put the lid on your cup when you need to. So that's what I got for my Gemini collective. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one.